Oh, I was thinking of how about like lubricant situation?
Yeah. So lube, you can never have enough lube. Like,
Just in life.
lube. Yeah. It's like a general rule for life. Yeah. Using a long lasting lube, like a silicone lube is really great, particularly for anal play. If you're doing vaginal play, you can get away with like a water-based lube and it doesn't last as long in the body, but the vagina has natural lubricant. But if you have enough lube, add a bit more. That's always my rule. I'm like, okay,
If you think
I
it's
think it's enough, but I should
more.
add a bit more. Yeah.
And what about, though, say we have a nice silicone dick?
Yeah.
We can't use a silicone lube then, right?
No. So you're right. So silicone toys don't pair well with silicone lubes. They actually degrade over time. But I figure for lots of strap-on play, I'm lazy. So I want cleanup to be really easy. I put condoms on my dicks.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you can use whatever lube you want then, and then you just take the condom off and you still have to wash your toy, but at least it's not like the giant process of boiling and all these things. You can kind of get away with soap and water if you've covered it with a condom.
Yeah, and also silicone lube is like, it's kind of hard to get off of everything.
Yes.
So that's a great idea to just be able to remove the condom and throw it out and then just wash your,
wash your toy.
Wash your toy as usual, you usual would. Another thing that I've heard as far as like pegging goes is like an internal condom can be a good option as well, as we're talking about like cleanup. Anal sex, it can get dirty. It's dirty, right?
Totally.
And you have to be kind of careful, especially if the person is a vagina owner. You've got to try to keep things clean and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've heard of like the person receiving anally is using an internal condom in their butt.
Yeah.
And then they can kind of stand up and go take it out themselves at their own convenience.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with anal penetration, there can be a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a nice option for that person that they don't have to deal with the mess right in front of their partner on the bed, for the
bit of dignity. Yeah.
So they can go to the washroom and they can remove it and clean up like in the privacy of their own bathroom. That's what they kind of
That's a great tip. Yeah. Internal condoms, they used to be known as female condoms.
Yeah.
They're made of polyurethane, so they're also latex free, so you don't have to worry if someone has a latex allergy. They're a little bit hard to find and they're expensive.
Yeah.
So they're one-time use only. But they are a good alternative, particularly if people if they want to go from ass to vagina. And so you can keep the female condom in or the internal condom in the ass or the vagina, and that way the penis isn't like transferring any bacteria into the two ecosystems that doesn't belong.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. As we were just saying. You gotta be a little careful. Gotta
be a little careful.
Yeah. Be a little mindful.
But that's a great tip.
Anything else as far as strap-on goes that you'd like to say?
The only thing I would recommend is that, and this is a fun thing.
Yes.
So
great. Yeah, let's end at a pleasure base.
Right? I
pleasure
think
place.
Air thrusting is like kind of like a compulsory thing that you need to do if you're going to strap it on. And that's sort of like just getting used to the fact that it feels a bit silly. It looks silly, but then also there's this like phallic power that you can tap into because you don't normally have this between your legs if you're not a penis owner. So get in front of the mirror, strap it on and like jiggle it around and do some circles, like helicopter your dick so that you feel comfortable when you're putting it on for the first time during like a vulnerable, sexy moment.
Yeah. Wear it a bit. Wear it around your house. Do the dishes.
Yeah.
Clean the house while wearing the strap on. Yeah. Just to kind of get used to having that thing there.
Yeah. And realize sex is playful and it's going to be silly and it's sexy is silly. And so like getting that all out of the way before you're in the moment when you're about to perform is like, can really help with your confidence.
And I feel like you would kind of create some connection with the
Sure.
dick,
You may name it.
Yeah. Like if you're wearing it around before and you're like spending some time wearing it, it's like, is that a thing that might happen is like, oh yeah, this is my dick.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like my dick.
Yes,
now,
totally.
Like,
totally. Or you may be like, this is not my dick. I need a purple dick.
Yeah.
Like,
I gotta go back to the store.
Gotta go back to the store. Yeah.
Oh well. Okay. One thing I want to talk about as well, that when I saw this is like the name of one of your workshops. I was just in love with it. Eating pussy like a champ.
Oh yeah. 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 That's the first question I ask people on Tinder. I'm like, do you eat pussy like a champ? Yeah, I do.
Do you eat pussy like a champ? What's the response to that? What's the general?
So it's interesting because if I only use it actually if I'm bi, so I'll talk to both people, both genders on Tinder. But if I'm speaking with cisgendered heterosexual males, and I ask that question, you'll always get like one of three responses. Okay. So one response will be if it's clean, and I was like, vaginas are self-cleaning. Yeah, dicks are not. Dick cheese. So like they're a thing. That's like to me misogyny around what female genitalia or like vagina owners smell like, and that we're supposed to smell like lavender or roses, and natural scent is considered offensive. Yeah, and it's not. Natural scent contains pheromones and like all these beautiful things that contribute to like having better sex. Yeah. And then the next question will either be, or the next response would be, if it's clean and shaven. And so I'm like, pubes are a choice. So pubes have nothing to do with hygiene. They have nothing to do with cleanliness. They're a natural expression of hair on our genitalia. Yeah. And so I'm like, you obviously have some sort of judgment around natural bodies. Yeah. And
body hair. Like you watch too much porn probably.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Too much like white, cis, fit, shaven plastic people.
Yes.
Which is not.
It's not real bodies.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the third answer would be if I really feel a connection to the person, and so it's like
vulnerable for you, but me sucking your dick isn't. Okay.
Exactly. So there's totally a double standard. We saw that with DJ Khaled and like bullshit King's whatever. Oh. Yeah. So we know that exists and that's real and that's out there. And the correct response, like if someone asked me that, I'd be like, oh my God, I get intoxicated on pussy. Yes. I want to like take in all the scent and I want to look at you and I want to like make you feel adored and worshipped. That's eating pussy like a champ, right?
That's the response we want.
Yeah. That's goals right there. Yeah. That's the only way your pussy should be eaten.
With gusto. Yeah. So how do we eat pussy like a champ? Are there any I know it's so much more nuanced than just giving like 5 tips and tricks, but like, is there like a condensed version of this that would help people eat pussy better?
Yes. Let's just contribute to raising the bar. Yeah,
let's try like, eating
at pussy. Least. Yeah. So one of the things is that, sometimes we see those guides about like do the alphabet or like do the thing. So, I mean, there are little techniques that you can learn, but a lot of times it's really dependent on the body that you're giving pleasure to. So being able to invite communication, like, babe, like I love doing this. Do you want it faster or slower? Yeah. Like asking questions in a sexy way can make people feel more comfortable to give feedback that's actually about their bodies and their pleasure.
Yeah, like part of the dirty talk.
Yeah, like work it in, make it like a thing. And then a lot of times we don't do it long enough. And so we think that we have this concept of that it's about arousing the vulva to get to a point of being ready for penetration. Yeah. And so we're still centering sex around penetration, whether that's with a penis or with fingers or other types of things. But eating pussy is sex. Yeah. And so it can be like an amazing thing to just do for your partner. So you want to do a quickie for your partner, offer to eat their pussy. Yeah. Like that's a thing. Make that a thing.
Yeah. And I feel like for a lot of women, they want that to be the main event. Yeah. Like that's what gets a lot of women off. Yeah. Rather than penis type sex.
Totally.
Like, so for a lot of femmes, they're like, please make that the main event, please.
Yes.
Please.
And so much of women's pleasure, and there's been research around it, that we get off on deep kissing, solid fingering, and oral sex. Yeah, not the finger banging. No. Like, like sophisticated fingering. Like, come on.
And what was the third thing?
And oral sex,
and
like
oral
receiving
sex.
good oral sex.
Yes.
Yeah. And so even like helping your partner be comfortable with receiving, because a lot of us have experienced these body shaming things, that you smell funny, or why aren't you shaved, or your pussy lips are too dark, or the lips are too big, and like there's so much judgment around like the natural expression of our genitals. Yeah. And so lots of people feel like shy and they can't relax when someone's going down on them. So
they
like
feel self-conscious.
Yeah. Yes, totally. Yeah. So helping alleviate that with compliments or like checking in and telling them how much you love doing it is better than kind of like going down and doing like your DJ tongue for like like 3 seconds and then being like, did you come? Did you come? And you're like, no, of course not. No, of course I didn't. Like,
and I feel like another thing maybe to bring up is like the anxiety of like being in your head when you're receiving oral is like I'm taking too long. This is taking too long.
Yeah.
And then you start to get in your head.
Yeah.
Like, is there any helpful tips you can give to people that just start getting in their head when they're receiving?
Yes. If you start getting in your head when you're receiving, I would like create a connection back to your partner. So either like look at them and see like how amazing, maybe catch their eye, like if they're looking up from your crotch, or touch them, like touch their shoulders, run your hand through their hair, like listen to their breath or their moans or the sounds, like plug into something else.
Yeah.
And that
Switch
actually
the focus from you to them.
Yeah. And just like change the vibe so that you're actually looking for more things to plug into that are sensual, and that sensuality is going to create arousal for you, because you'll be like, they're not done. Like they're still going down there. Okay, I can relax. Like
yeah. They're having a good time.
They're having a great time.
I'm having a good time. We're having a good time.
Everyone's having a good time.
Amazing.
And lots of people complain that their jaw hurts.
Yeah, right.
So that's a real thing.
Or their tongue is getting tired.
Or their tongue's
or
tired.
Yeah.
That's because we're eating pussy like people eat it in porn. And so it's all tongue and all jaw. And really, like, you have a whole face. So you can use your chin.
Yeah,
you can
right
rub that.
in there.
Get right in there.
Yeah.
Like, move it all around.
Yeah.
The clitoris, like, most people think that, it's just sort of like the head. But
oh, hello.
Yeah, hey there, clitosaurus.
Oh, hey, clitosaurus rex.
But it's actually like this whole structure. So it's a big structure. And so stimulating like the areas other than directly on the clitoris can like increase and engorge arousal all around the vulva.
Yeah.
So sucking on lips, licking lips, using a lapping tongue instead of a pointy tongue, not direct sort of stimulation on someone's clit. Like sometimes people want to make their mouth like a vibrator, and that's not what a mouth does. Yeah. So having a sense of like being able to tap into this like beautiful network of clitoral tissue and erogenous zone. And again, like remembering there's a whole body. Yeah. So touching thighs, or like my favorite part, if I'm going down on someone, is like the space between the crotch and the thigh.
Oh yeah. That
right?
little like, yeah.
Yes.
The little divot.
The divot.
The leg pit.
Is it a leg pit? Let's call it a leg pit.
No,
like,
what is it? Yeah.
I don't know. It's like.
Yeah. I agree. I love a big kiss on there. Or
yeah.
like a suction.
Or a suction. Yeah. And it also has a high scent, because it's like where sweat gets trapped or juices. And so I'm like, if you put your face in there and inhale someone and tell them they feel good and smell good, they're going to die.
They're going to melt.
Their head's going to pop off. They won't be able to be in their head. Ththey'll just pop off. Like
it will be gone.
It'll be gone.
It will be
gone. Yeah.
Elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere else on the floor. Next to your butt toys.
They're scattered about in the room.
The chaos.
Okay, this is amazing. But I don't think I can go too much longer without talking about my sponsors.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yes.
So everyone, we have 3 lovely sponsors for the podcast this sunny, lovely, warm afternoon. Today we have Oasis Aqua Lounge, which... Have you been?
Maybe once or twice.
A couple of times, I think.
I love Oasis.
Yeah. Oasis is a fantastic sex-positive sex club here in Toronto, located at 231 Mutual Street. Oasis is a diverse venue as far as like gender identities and as far as sexualities, which is really fantastic. They're kind of like a community hub for all sex-positive folks here in Toronto, be it like sex-positive businesses or entertainers and educators like yourself, Luna. Which is also fantastic. They have so many lovely parts of their facility. Like they've got a heated pool. They have a